Okay, was an exciting football game yesterday. A lot of things happened. A lot of stuff went on, and really, we looked at the game, and the first half was so much different than the second half. And the third quarter was so much different than the fourth quarter. So it was a game of just kinds of changes and adjustments and stuff. And then we're very fortunate that we played a great fourth quarter and found our way back to getting a win against a really good team, and a team that's playing well, really well developed football team, and so it was a very good, very big win. Had kind of championship energy about it, and it was an exciting matchup. There was a lot of people we knew on their end and our end as well. It just added to it and made it fun, and I think probably as the game wound down and it came down to figuring out who was going to win, we couldn't have been more fortunate to be playing at CenturyLink. The crowd was great, and they responded extraordinarily and throughout the day. But at the finish, they finished really well. So it was a great day to get a win, and hopefully we see a lot of stuff in here that we can improve on, and so we'll just keep on marching.
Have you learned anything new about how Michael Bennett's doing today?
He's doing pretty good. Yeah, his tests and stuff came out clear, so he just got banged on his knee.
Any more information on Luke Wilson from this one?
Yeah, Luke's got some stuff that we got to work on. We got to figure out what to do with him. Got a little cartilage damage in there and stretched ligaments and MCL, and so we got to figure out what that's going to be like.
Could that be surgery for Luke?
It's possible. It's possible. We'll know more in the next couple days.
Does it look like Mike will be able to make it back this week?
I think so.
Chancellor, what's his situation right
now? He's coming back from a groin, that happened during the week, and it was just a mild groin, but we didn't think that he would be able to hold up throughout the course of the game, and so he feels a lot better today, and we'll just have to go day by day and figure that out.
You talked last week about the pass protection through 4 games, and you guys go out and 1 sack yesterday. Just how well is that group playing in that?
Looks really good. Yeah, it's much improved, and the connection between Russell and the Fitz and feeling the pocket, and nice job that Bradley Sowell did, and Glow on the left side. They did a really nice job yesterday, and you can I thought you could see Russell very comfortable, and he took the advantage of moving subtly to make space for himself, to find some receivers and make some plays, and that's a good improvement for us. We're at this time last year we were way above in the sack totals, so we're well ahead, and hopefully we can keep getting better and really put together a good season protecting the quarterback.
How do you feel that Jermaine Ifedi is starting to settle in?
He had a hard game. He had a hard time, and I think he's just getting going. He did some great stuff, but he did have some plays that he'd like to get back, and just things that can get fixed fundamentally. And there's just so many areas that he can improve on and will. We love the good stuff, and we just got to get through the other stuff. It's not a physical question. It's not even a mental thing. It's fundamentals and identification and stuff like that we can really fix. So he's going to be really good, and he's made a difference. You can tell, in just being out there.
Is Russell playing with any type of limitation still, or how did he look like he was moving?
I thought he looked great. And I know other people, oh yeah, but he didn't look like he always looked. Well, maybe that's the case, but he sure moved well, and he made a lot of plays with his quickness, and took off and ran, and got something out of stuff. Didn't get any big plays running, but and he had some chances in the running game too, to read some stuff that we did not restrict him in that regard, and he just, the reason didn't allow him to run the football. So I think that we're really back on track, and I'm really fired up that it's a remarkable job that he's done to play like he's played over the last 5 weeks, and under the circumstances, and I'm really excited that he's getting better, and he feels better today.
A day later, what are your thoughts on what happened with Richard on the sideline?
Well, he got really emotional, and he reacted really strongly, and our guys brought him back in, and he was just being competitive and all that. And he didn't want bad things to happen, and so he responded. He went over the top, but what was fantastic was the way our guys took care of him. And they were the best suited to make sure to make sense and to get him right. And we got back. It took us a while. We didn't respond. We had a terrible third quarter. We gave up a ton of yards and points and all kinds of stuff. But It ain't about that, you know. It's about how you finish, you know. And when we finished and didn't give up any points in the end, and stopped them when we had to, and offense took the ball down the field and scored, and House kicked the kick he needed to win the game, and all those things came through, you know. And what I told these guys today is that there's going to always be things that happen, and we're going to learn if we can from the experiences that we have, and those that we draw from, and get smarter and more aware. We're gonna get better, and I thought it wound up being an extraordinary positive for our team, that we could hang through the rigors and the challenges against a terrific team and find a way to win a football game.
Would you want him to handle that differently the next time if there's a similar situation?
Yeah, I would. Yes.
From our vantage point in the press box, you were obviously aware of what was going on with Richard, but you seemed to stay away for most of it. Was that purposely to allow some of the players to?
I was watching every bit. I watched everything that was going on. I didn't stay away from it to not know what's happening. I watched our guys, and I could see how they were responding to the situation, and how he was responding to Cam, and how he was responding to Michael Bennett and Earl, and I could see that they were communicating and they were making sense, and it was just going to take some time. And the urgency was really apparent. You know, we needed to get back and get right, and I thought it was a marvelous job of our guys just showing who they are, and their resolve to make sure that, you know, we do what's right for our team, and it was pretty impressive.
There have been miscommunications or busted coverages in the past. Why do you think this specific one really struck a chord with them?
I just think that it was just the situation, the way it happened. Been a lot of focus on Richard, you know, and a lot of attention played, a lot of build-up, and you know, he's human too, you know. He was keyed up, and he wanted to do great, and he wanted us to do great, and he wanted to do his part and all that, and that's just the response that happened.
What exactly happened in play?
What exactly happened is what has exactly happened, and what I'm going to tell you happened is we misplayed a play, and game plan stuff entered into that. We had prepared for some things to happen, and it happened just like we thought. We didn't play it the way we thought we would, and it didn't come out right. So, you know, it was a great job by them of the two big mistakes we made. They took advantage and got touchdowns on them.
Richard said it was an on-field audible that got messed up there. Was it similar at all to what happened against Carolina with
Yeah.
communication? Okay.
Kind of just not being on the same page, and what was clear was that to me is that Cam's a big factor, you know. That's that we haven't seen. You don't see that stuff. You remember some other game when that happened when Cam was playing? I don't know. He has such a connection and skill in communicating and all that Kels couldn't have that. He hasn't played enough with our guys. You know, he's been there, but it's not the same. And so we have to adapt to that. You know, Kelsey played really well. Did a nice job in the game, but still the communication is not as good as it is when we're. You know, otherwise it wouldn't matter if you played together for 5 years. You know, it matters, and there's something to that. And so, just I thought it was evident that happened.
You said this morning on the radio that you enjoy being on the edge with these guys, and you enjoy dwelling there. What is the risk reward when you have guys who are really passionate and volatile like Richard? And what
I don't know about the risk, but the reward is you get to find a way to help guys play the best they can possibly play, and that they can find stuff that they can feed off of one another that allows them to win for a really long time. It allows them to find what their what the reaches are for them that they can approach, and I don't see any risk in it at all. I'm fine. I'm fine operating like this, and it gives us a chance to find out how good you can be, you know, as a group. And without it, you can still do good, but often, you know, you don't get familiar with that space and what that mentality is like, and so it's not only hard to get there, but it's hard to stay there, and you have to get familiar with it and what it feels like to be, you know, totally immersed and committed and focused and maximizing, and then you got to do it again and again and again and again. So you have to understand it. So that's what we're trying to learn how to do that. And when you've seen us when we can do it and when we can't over the years, and it's what you're approaching in performance. You know, you're trying to find how long can you stay on it. You know, and it takes the vulnerability, it takes the openness, it takes the experience and the ability to communicate through the moments to stay there. it's never going to be the same all the time. It was a great example yesterday. You saw we had a dip in our performance that really went across the board, and you saw guys working to get back to it. You saw the demonstration of what it took, the intensity and the emotion that it took to stay connected, so that we can go back out and do what we're capable of doing. I mean, it was, fourth quarter, I think they had 270 yards or something in the third quarter. They had like 20 in the fourth quarter, and whatever it was, and 2 first downs and an interception and a turnover, turning them away, and the last time they had the football, all of that. It was some really, really cool stuff that happened. I think because we were able to get back on track again in a really short order.
As it was happening, did it pan out exactly as you expected in that time, when they all got together and jumping up and down?
No, that wasn't really choreographed. Now that was I think not being in the middle of it was to allow it to happen, and I thought that was that's trust in our guys, trust in the leadership, trust in the connection that they have, that they could find it, and there was a little nudging here, a little nudging there, and there was some stuff that was being done, but I didn't know how that was going to turn out. I was trusting that it would work out okay, and it did.
As a previous head coach, at any other time, would your instinct have been to jump right in the middle of that the moment Sherman came off the field?
It depends on the situation and the guys and all that. It just depends. This was a different one. This was a very unique situation, and there have been times, that you got to get in the middle, and particularly when the savvy's not there. The savvy's not there, and the instinct isn't there, and the connection and the depth of understanding isn't there, and then you have to fill it in for them. And there was a lot going on with coaches helping players as they were communicating during that time, to make sure that, in listening very carefully to the words and how the words were received and all that. There was a lot going on. It was thrilling. It was a thrilling moment in a game to try and figure that out. And the fact that it turned and the guys played so well and finished the game the way we like to finish was a beautiful thing. I think we're stronger for that, and it'll help us somewhere down the road. I don't know when we're going to be in a situation like that again, but at least we'll have been there before, and so that we'll draw from that.
How did Chris Richard handle himself in that situation, do you think?
I think he did fine. I think he stayed connected to the game. The most important thing is he stayed focused on the game that was at hand. That's what the challenge was, to get back to how we play. And Chris did a really good job and led them beautifully down the stretch to finish the thing.
When you approached Richard and he said, "I'm not ready yet," you decided to stay away then? How did that?
It was the best thing. It was the right thing to do. Yeah, he wasn't ready. Well, what good are you going to talk to somebody just because you want to talk to somebody doesn't mean they're going to listen.
Coaches would do that.
I don't know. I guess. It just wasn't the right time. I needed maximum communication opportunities there. I needed to cash in when the things that we needed to get done, and I know Richard really well, and we've been together through a lot of stuff. I mean, the years and years we've been doing stuff together, and I love the guy, and I believe in him to the end, and I think I have a sense for him, and I'm not saying I know him as well as somebody else does, but I know him in a way in our relationship that we can make sense of stuff, and there ain't nothing that we can't handle. We'll figure it out.
You've talked about the nonverbal communication a lot of times between those guys in the back end. When you have a guy like
That's
Kelsey,
a great discussion, guys. It's fun. Keep going.
When you have a guy like Kelsey come in, does that become an issue at all, that you have some guys who are so used to being able to communicate with a guy like
There's
Cam?
nothing to do about it. If you could, you would. I mean, it's just time. It's just time and experience. It's nobody's fault. It's just you have to get out there and play, and you have to be through all of those things. That's why experience is important. That's what that is. And when you don't have it, you have to adjust. We didn't adjust well enough to the way we were communicating, and that we didn't do a good enough job. We can do that way better than we did, and the game didn't have to go like that, but it did. So now we're faced with it. Now what are you going to do about it? And that's what happened.
How did Kelsey handle all of that?
I thought he was a stud about it. He was really strong. He was really kept the team in mind. Really was poised, and and he ain't perfect, but he did a great job to make sure that we got to the next step, and here we are, and we're in the meeting room today, and we're moving, and we're together, and we're on the same page. So that's what Tell the Truth Monday is all about, is to make sure that we clear everything and get to where we're back on the same page, and everybody's stepping in line with one another, and we did that.
You've mentioned many times how unique the bond seems to be with this particular team. Do you think yesterday's sideline happens in any of your other Seahawks teams?
I don't know that. I don't know. But I think it's an illustration of how close they are. And I think that's what you saw. I don't think you saw something other than that. That you saw that's what allowed us to get back on track so quickly and where we could even be successful in the end of the day. A lot of teams aren't going to finish that game like that, and we did.
Have you ever seen a scene like that on the sidelines during a game?
No, that was a unique one. That's pretty unique. Yeah. No, I haven't.
How do you evaluate how the running game kind of performed yesterday? And
We just didn't run it enough, I mean, what happened? Tom and I were clear about it at halftime that we're gonna get this thing going in the third quarter. We're gonna come back the fourth quarter and run it 15 times in the fourth quarter and try to and put the game away, which we always do. That's how we do it. But the game didn't go that way, and so we were. Bev really sensed that we really were on it protection-wise. And so he was comfortable to throw the ball a lot in the second half. And we were moving the ball by controlling it that way. And so that's why we went that way. We had 6 plays or something in the third quarter or whatever. It was nothing, and so that didn't help. And then in the fourth quarter, we needed to come back. And I think it was really the confidence and the protection that allowed us to go the way we went. I'd rather have it, if we stayed ahead, we'd have run the ball a ton in the fourth quarter, and we didn't get a chance to do that.
Michael Bennett was pretty upset about the block that he got injured on. What was your opinion of the
It
block?
was just a cut block. The guy cut him. It was clean. Nobody wants to get hit in the legs, but it wasn't a dirty play or anything like that. It wasn't illegal, and he didn't like it.
Or is it at the point where maybe more discussion needs to be taken about just outline cut blocks in the league?
I think it's going to continue to be a discussion point. It has, again, with the chop blocks and things, again, this year we've clarified some things. I think we need to continue to talk about it. We have to keep working to do it the best way possible. And if there's more insights in there that can help us, we need to, pursue that. And so I think the discussion will naturally, continue.
Field goal kicking, looking at those kicks on film now, anything that you want to change that bothers you, or those just?
Well, we weren't as clean with the whole mechanism, and John did a really good job early in the game handling some of the snaps, and just for whatever reason we were just a little bit low inside on the snaps, and then we were able to fix it, and so. And then we hit the ball kind of low on the one that got knocked down, so we just weren't quite as efficient as we needed to be.
Dan Quinn said he's going to send the last play, the fourth down play, and do you have a thought on?
No, we send in plays every week. We send in tons and tons of plays every week, and there's always stuff. And I don't blame him one bit for trying to understand that one better. And there's plays every week, and you look at the last play of the last play of the game, all the stuff that goes on in those jumps and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and it's hard on the officials. It's difficult for them to figure that out and to find out what did affect the play. Because did whatever happened affect the result of the play? That's what they have to try and figure out. I mean, it's hard. They don't do that right, and they're trying though, and so that'll maybe. I don't think they're going to learn a whole lot from that, but they'll at least give him a judgment on it. We won't send that play in.
If the roles were reversed, would you want clarification on that?
No, I think it was really obvious. There's a lot of hand fighting going on, and the league is trying to understand what is allowable and all of that. As they're not changing. It's not changing the rules so much. I think there's a change in just the way they're interpreting and understanding stuff and trying to make sense of it. Again, it just continues to be the most difficult aspect of the game in terms of officiating. It's called pass interference, and there's nothing. There's nothing they can do about it. They just have to keep working at it, which they're doing, and we're all trying to understand it better.
You said earlier today that Thomas Rawls is a couple more weeks away. Is there any sort of set ETA on when you want him back, or you're shooting for a specific game?
As soon as possible. Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to take him a couple weeks more before he's healed. That's it. And he'll feel really. He's feeling much better. He'll feel pretty darn good. They just got to make sure that it's safe and all that.
Is Russell getting to a point with his health that he can start to be more of a factor in the running game?
Well, I don't know that it's a question of that now. We're calling plays. We're calling stuff. We ran. He was running boots and nakeds and stuff like that. He did everything, and he scrambled and all that. And we're in the middle of it. You know, he should be okay.
With Richard Sherman being the player he is, some teams are going to test Deshaun Shedd. Just how did he hold up yesterday, and just bigger picture when
Sean
you're that
played really well
when you're that
yesterday.
corner, teams are going
Yeah,
after
I
him.
mean the plays that he wasn't able to make, he was close to and was strictly on it and all of that. You know, the crossing route, he was all over. Another route that they caught underneath him, that he was right on it. He's doing really well. And it's not, I don't know what how the numbers work out, but he's really holding up his end. I think he's playing great.
Does that take kind of a special makeup though if you're that guy that you know
Heck yeah, it
teams are
does.
gonna
Yeah, because
come
you
after?
know you're getting the ball thrown at you, and there's been a lot of guys that don't hold up, you know, and we've been very fortunate over the years, guys on that side of, you know, been able to play and do a nice job because they're going to get a lot of activity. That's just kind of built in.
Kevin Pierre-Louis, how did he play?
Pretty good. Did a nice job. Yeah, he got a little tweaked his ankle during the game and go out and come back in, but he did okay. He will improve as well. He needs the work. He needs the time out there. I think Cassius just played one play for him at the same spot, but he did good first start.
Pete, your opponent doesn't play until tonight. Does it kind of present a fun opportunity for the coaching staff?
Oh, yeah.
To
Oh yeah.
look at a team differently than you normally
No,
do?
yeah, we like this opportunity. It's good. It's a good focus for everybody. And the players will all watch and they'll hear all the backstories and all the build-up. And so when we come back on Wednesday, we'll have a really good insight to start the week. It's a TV game, and you don't get to study it really, but you still get to. There's a lot of information that will come at us, and that's just good for helping us, you know, get a jump on the week.
You talked about the protection. Is this line kind of better at pass protecting right now than run blocking? Or I mean, is there something that's better suited about it, or anything like that? Or?
No, I just think I think the connection between how we're throwing the football and the job that Russell's doing getting the ball out has connected with the pass protection. And this isn't like new to this year. Go back to last year. I keep telling you that. Go back to the middle of last year, and we made some great adjustments and some really nice decisions that were made by Tom and Daryl and fellas on the offensive staff to put this thing in the kind of mode that it's in now. What we really hope to do is recapture what had happened in the second half of the season, and we're on those numbers. We're maybe even ahead of those numbers right now. So things are going in the right direction.
You coached Dennis Byrd for a couple of years. Just your thoughts on
Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible loss. This was a marvelous kid, and a marvelous family. His wife Angela and their kid have 4 kids, and that was a really an extraordinary story. We were right there, you know, coaching Dennis when that happened, and when he got hurt and broke his neck, and went through all of the emotional stuff that happened for this beautifully spirited kid. I mean, he was an amazing person, and he affected so many people in his return and his overcoming the odds and never going to walk again. And he runs out on the field, leads the team out the next year, you know, on opening day. And he'd been through so much. So for that family to have to go through another tragedy, I can't even, I don't have any place to put it. But my heart goes out, and I love the heck out of him. And I hope to visit with Angela later here in the next couple of days.
Frank Clark, what's the situation?
Frank Clark ran really well on game day. Was really close to playing. Just didn't quite have the strength that he needed to, you know, to kind of complete the exam where we could put him out there knowing he'd be safe. So he'll be fine. He should be, and we need to get through without setbacks. But he should be raring to go this week.
Look like Quentin Jefferson can get back.
He'll be back. Yeah, he will definitely come back, and we're excited to get him back. And he'll be out of the cast too, and he'll have his fingers available and all that. I mean, he played with a Q-tip for a while there, so he'll be back in action.
CJ Process, along the same line?
Yeah, that's we'll see on Wednesday. I'm really hoping that this is his week. He can get back. Like I've been saying, he's been practicing, so he's ready to go. It's just a matter of if he's safe, and we think he's really approaching that time now. It'd be great to get him.
The success you guys are having blitzing, are you doing anything?
Sorry.
Are you doing anything different schematically, or is it just the players
What area?
on the blitzes, the pressures?
No, I think it's. I think this is you're seeing an emergence of our players' development. You see Bobby and KJ, who are the primary guys. Now you get a little bit of Cassius and a little bit of KPL also, and also Chris feeling the guys and calling it, and he's got a good sense for it. He's had really good timing. Really trusts the guys that they're going to execute really well. We did some things really well in picking up the coverage in blitz situations, and it's really top level stuff. So we're just getting better at it, and so we'll just keep you hopefully be timely and effective.
Is Joey Hunt the answer at fullback?
He's 1 for 1. That's all I know. I mean, you put Joey in, you get a touchdown. So he might be the first play of the game this week.
Anything else? Thank you.